If you're falling out of your handstand just after a few seconds or less, and you feel that you're strong and mobile enough, here's why. You're not failing because you're weak. You're falling because you don't know where you are and you have no idea about what your fingers are supposed to be doing. My name is Vincent Viss from the Handstand Academy, and we're gonna fix this in this video. First, let's redefine balance. Balance is at first thought of a destination, a point, and you couldn't be further from the truth. Balance is not something you arrive at and relax into. It's not a magical position you're supposed to find in the darkness. Balance is a fight, a constant fight. The trick is to learn how to correct yourself with enough precision and the right timing. This window in which you can correct yourself despite being off-centered, I'm gonna call this the balancing zone in the Handstand Academy. Now, once you have understood that, you need to start distrusting your perception of space upside down. Meaning when you are upside down, your sense of spatial awareness will actually work against you at first. One could say that your vestibular system is not used to it. It's overwhelmed by this new position. That's why you feel straight when actually you are in a banana back, and you only see that once you record yourself. So what to do about this? You cannot trust yourself to know where you are in space. So you have to listen to what your hands are saying. Your fingers, more specifically in handstands, are both your sensors telling you where you are in space, correcting the initial input you get from your inner ear, and also your brakes, allowing you to not fall out of balance. In other words, they will tell you where you are in space and help you stay there. So we have to improve how to feel better through our hands and our fingers, and how to correct ourselves back to the center with our fingers, the sensors and the brakes. When it comes to what the fingers can do, there's plenty of nuances we could go into, plenty of small, subtle patterns that you will keep discovering month after month and years after years. But for now, let's assume you know nothing. Your fingers can perform two main actions. They can push, which is an active way of you moving in space, or they can relax as to let your body sink a bit more forward. This would be more of a passive movement. What you need to understand is that depending on where you are in space, you will need to perform one or the other. If you are about to fall too far forward, you need to slam on the brakes. But if you are on the verge of falling back to the floor, you absolutely need to stop pushing. And most of the mistakes we make at first when it comes to balancing are about not performing the right action at the right time, and that is in part due to not listening to the feedback your fingers are giving you, that then helps you know if you are falling forward or if you are falling backwards. Again, you cannot trust to feel that. You're gonna have to fine-tune your sensations starting at the hand level. What usually tends to happen is that you push too hard, you push too late, or you relax too late. These three mistakes happen over and over again on your way from 0 second to 10 seconds. And so you're gonna need to work on your finger pushing to get better at pushing at the right time with the right intensity. Not only that, but spoiler alert, you will keep making mistakes for quite a while. Actually, one could say that mistakes are part of the hand balancing journey. And even in 10 years from now, you will still make them, only you will have become much better at anticipating them, automating how to fix them, and performing the corrections in such a subtle way it's barely perceptible. To hold your handstands longer and longer, at the wall or without the wall, my plan of action for you today will be the following. 1. Understand what the fingers can do to correct your alignment upside down. If that's not clear, you have to feel what happens when you push on your fingers and when you relax them. And remember what we said in the previous video. Different hand positions may make you feel that more or less precisely. So make sure you have at least tried once the different hand positions we have in handstands, and you keep tweaking that month after month to find something ideal for you. Once you understand the nature of corrections, we have to feel the timing better and better. And this is where trying to perform the push and relax action of the fingers for longer and longer can come handy. In the process, you will start making mistakes, and they're part of the process. Do not whip yourself for them. Observe them. because in observing what you're doing when you lose it, when you crash against the wall, or when you come back down to the floor, you learn to recognize what happens just before you're about to make that mistake, and you learn to hear what the fingers were saying all along. They were sending you some feedback that you were ignoring because it's very small and subtle, telling you that you were about to go out of this balancing window. In due time, maybe in a few months, once you have understood that, you will also need to work on what to do once you have made the mistakes. This is beyond what the fingers can do and is another topic altogether. For more information about this and a plan of action to follow week by week to get better at using your fingers, check the description below. I have added a link to a blog that guides you through a protocol I have designed just for you. If you want more information about how to work with me directly and how to find the handstand that works for you, you will also find a link for that. Your comments, your questions feed the topics I address in the future videos, so don't hesitate either to ask your questions down there. I will do my best to answer them with a specific video in the future.